Hey you guys, it's me again. We're still here at Cedar View Acres. It is Wednesday. We're leaving on Saturday, so it's our last few days here. If you've been following along with the last few vlogs that I've posted here on my YouTube channel, or if you follow me on Instagram, specifically my Instagram stories, you'll know that I have a recent, probably in the last 2 months or so, a recent obsession with breakfast burritos. I have been eating a breakfast burrito a day for pretty much over 2 months now, I think, or just under 2 months. And I've been on sort of like a weight loss journey with tracking my calories, being in a calorie deficit, and breakfast burritos have just like put my breakfast routine into a really predictable caloric intake thing that I can do every single morning and not have to worry about it. I've been experimenting a lot with how I make them. I had to navigate a few sort of like pitfalls and ups and downs with the steam and the tortillas sticking and the cheese and what I put in them and how I wrap them up and all that kind of thing. Over the past couple of months, I have gotten quite a few people who have been requesting the recipe, and this just sort of blew my mind because to me, it's not really a recipe. I just had this idea in my brain of taking a scramble, like if I were to just make like a scrambly egg, kind of like an omelet, but like a scramble, the flavors that I wanted, I just did that and then slapped it into a tortilla and wrapped it up. But like I said, along the way, I've sort of like figured out some tips and tricks, some hacks, where I've like perfected the breakfast burrito game, I feel. Today, I have a few different things that I'm actually going to be experimenting with. I actually found a protein forward or a protein specific tortilla that I'm going to be using. It's a little bit smaller, so I have to play around with the portions and I have to play around with the calories, like related to the portions. But today, I thought we would just make breakfast burritos together. That's literally all this video is going to be, is just making these breakfast burritos. I just ate my last one this morning. I had a full freezer full of them. It's really special making them here at Cedar View Acres because I am literally taking care of about 70 plus chickens. They're not all egg-laying chickens. There's just one coop with the egg-laying chickens, but they've been giving or laying a lot of eggs. I've been collecting a lot of eggs. I probably have about 4.5 dozen in the fridge. I gave my mom a carton, like a dozen of eggs yesterday. So I have a lot of eggs. Carly, my client, Carly and Matt, they have told me that I'm welcome to take as many eggs or eat as many eggs as I want while I'm here. So I've been taking advantage of that, and to sort of like preserve them or just make the most of this situation, having access to fresh eggs from the backyard, I've been scrambling them up and making these breakfast burritos because I can freeze them. It is already 3 o'clock, so it's a really good time to go and do a coop check, and we'll collect them in this little adorable little basket that I've been loving using. And we'll come back here and I will show you the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful rainbow eggs, farm fresh rainbow eggs that I'll be using in the recipe today. And I'll just take you guys along for the ride. Let's go to the chicken coop.
Hi, Maple. Are you gonna come to the chicken coop with me? All right. Put on my farm boots. I don't really need to wear these to go to the chicken coop. They're mostly just for going out into the paddock when I feed the horses, but they'll work anyway. Come on, darling. Good job. Hey, guys. Oh, my goodness. Oh, wow. Hey.
What have you got going on in here?
What are you doing in there?
Let's see. Oh my goodness gracious. So we've got one. There's 3 down here. I'm just gonna stick that there for a minute. Another one. Another one. Okay. Great. Okay. Oh my gosh. Did you just lay an egg? No. What's wrong? Okay. Anyway. Here's what we got, which is lovely. Just lovely. Hey? It's just lovely. Don't.
Hey, girls. Hello.
Okay. See this little blue one? These are so tiny, and I don't know which chickens they're coming from. I'd have to ask Carly, but I've been collecting them separately in a separate little carton. I'll show you in a second. But compared to these big brown ones, they're so small. So this is my collection of miniature eggs. Aren't these cute? I guess it's kind of hard to tell when they're in there, but look, I have one little spot available. So I don't even really know how to use these because they're so small. These plastic ones are what I'm gonna use for burrito prep. So keep in mind they're not perfectly clean. There is chicken shit on some of these. See? Those gorgeous? I think this should actually probably be my thumbnail. So we're gonna do some thumbnail shenanigans after I film this clip. So we've got all of these friggin' eggs and these ones. There's an open spot in here. I'm just gonna pop that in there. It's so big, it doesn't even fit. Okay, so now we've got, I think these are 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14. So 28 eggs plus 4 more, so 32 eggs. Math? Okay, I'm gonna pull everything out from the fridge and just get everything we need to start making these breakfast burritos out on the counter. I already did a little bit of prep 2 nights ago, just to prepare for like today, but I'll show you what I did. Here is everything I use for my breakfast burrito recipe. We've got our fresh eggs. I'm gonna use these and all of these, or as many of them as I can anyway. So this is the stuff that I prepped the other day. It's super friggin' simple. Chopped green pepper. This is 2 chopped white onion. You don't really need a specific amount, just like 2 containers of like handfuls of chopped green pepper and diced white onion. This is chicken breast that's just been seasoned with, I used Clubhouse Tex Mex because the cheese that I picked up is Cracker Barrel Tex Mex, and I got these because they were 50% off, and I thought, well, that's perfect. If I'm throwing them in wraps anyway, then the cheese is going to be frozen because likely these are 50% off because they're like about to expire. And since I'm using Tex-Mex cheese, I always get the light or the 30% less fat. You can use whatever you want. I've also used the reduced fat double cheddar, and you don't have to use reduced fat if you don't want to. This just makes it so that I have more of like a calorie allowance for the eggs. And I can, well, actually it gives you more calorie allowance to put more cheese in, that's why. These are the wraps that I got. President's Choice is, I don't know, this brand is not really ideal. Again, you might be watching from the States. I'm up here in Canada. The ingredients aren't in here, like aren't my favorite. Enriched wheat flour, wheat gluten, pea protein, fava bean protein, oat hull fiber, flaxseed, vegetable oil, wheat bran, salt, yeast, wheat germ, fumaric acid, potassium bicarbonate, sodium phosphate, potassium sorbate, calcium propionate, vegetable mono and diglycerides, cellulose gum, guar gum, xanthan gum, stevia extract, natural flavor, and enzymes. So I have looked far and wide for a freaking simple, clean tortilla, and I think my only option at this point is to make it myself. And I probably will. It's just going to involve milling my own flour and making it with protein powder and all this stuff. So that'll be a totally separate vlog. I mean, you can choose whatever tortilla you want. I'm gonna give these ones a go. They are 20 calories less than the wraps I was using last time. These 2 containers are to separate my egg yolks from my egg whites. And then I have a notebook because this involves a little bit of math. So I'm always doing like calculations and making notes so that I can actually calculate how many calories are going to be in the burrito in the end. And then I just have a little pan to toast my tortilla. And then this pan I really like because it's got high edges and we're cooking the eggs in bulk. So it's nice to have something that's higher so it can like hold the liquid. The first thing we're gonna do is just weigh out how much chicken, green pepper, and white onion is going to be in each burrito and probably multiply that by 4. We'll see if we can do 4 at a time. I have 12 tortillas, so I'm gonna try and use all of these. See, math. We have to deal with math. Okay, our eggshells. So we're gonna save all of those for Carly. She just stores them over in the corner here. I have a container of egg whites, and then I have a container of egg yolks here. They all kind of broke as I threw them in there, but there's a couple of whole ones in there as well. I have no use for these. I wish I did. If I was eating keto, if I was trying to get my body to go into ketosis, or if I wasn't trying to be in a calorie deficit, this is literally liquid gold right here. All right, so here are the little bowls. I am using some egg yolks in here. This is the egg yolk that is left over. I'm gonna figure out what to do with that. So each burrito has a 1/4 cup of egg whites plus 1 extra egg. I actually decided I'm just gonna add in a little bit of that Tex Mex seasoning. Perfect. Can I hold this? There we go. I ended up doing 50 grams of chicken, 20 grams of white onion, and 20 grams of green pepper times 4. So I'm just gonna start my first batch. So I'm gonna take that whole thing and put it in here. I don't use any oil or butter in here. I just like kind of raw dog it. Now that that is cooked up a little bit, I'm just gonna take one of the portioned containers of the eggs and egg yolks. So now that this is all cooked, I'm just going to put it into this bowl here and set it to the side to cool. And then we're just gonna do the same thing with this one, and then this one and this one. And put it all into the same bowl and let the filling cool. All right, so I just weighed everything from this bowl to this bowl on the scale, and it came to about just over 1,900 grams. So I'm just gonna divide 1,900 grams by 12 tortillas, and that's gonna give us about 160 grams per wrap. This is what 160 looks like. I'm gonna make it like a little bit less because we actually didn't have exactly that amount. So something like that, 155. That looks like the perfect amount to add into one of the tortillas. So now I'm gonna rip into these and we're gonna toast them one by one in this pan and add our cheese, and then we're gonna wrap each one up in tinfoil. I was gonna add a 1/2 cup of cheese, but I'm gonna go with a 1/3 cup this time just to save on some calories. So I like to put it in like a big thick line down the middle here because it melts the best that way. And then we're gonna take this, and I'm a little bit nervous about this fitting, but we're just gonna see what happens here. So I just dump this on. This is cooled, so it's not gonna melt the cheese. That's important. It's okay if it melts it a little bit. But so here is what we're going to attempt
to stuff into this wrap, and I need both hands to do that, so one sec.
From there, it's literally just rinse and repeat. I was able to wrap these up a lot easier than the ones I was making last time. I think I had too much filling or something, I don't know. But the last ones I had came to just under 700 calories, but these are smaller. So this is actually better. I have to wrap 12 of these. It's just the filling, the wrap, the cheese, and the tinfoil. 12 times, well, 11 times. And I also have to go feed the horses and the barn kittens and lock up the barn. So I'm gonna go do that before it starts to get dark out. I can't believe how early it's already starting to get dark out. It's freaking me out. But I'm gonna go do that quickly and then come back and just like toast, fill, wrap, toast, fill, wrap, toast, fill, wrap, 11 times. It's so stormy outside, I love it. We lost our daylight though. I went to do barn chores, the clouds rolled in, and it got really dark, so we're under some artificial lighting now. Let's see if I can hold all of these. Ta-da! So we managed to get 12 wrapped up, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we did it. I'm losing my steam for this vlog. I don't do well. I kind of like power down when the sun goes down. Like when it starts to get dark, I get into like mute mode, quiet mode. I'm like so ready for bed. So are the girls. I don't know if you can see them. I'll lower this down a bit. Are you girlies ready for bed? We're all ready for bed. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna wrap this up so that everything I just filmed isn't a waste. I have no idea how this vlog is gonna turn out. I don't usually do this type of like content. These freeze beautifully. What I learned is that putting them in the oven in the tin foil is not the way to go because it like steams inside of the tin foil and makes the wrap really soggy and then it sticks to the tin foil. So I unwrap these now. I put it on a little tray with a piece of parchment paper, just like Nikki without the tin foil. And then I put it in the oven at 400, so like nice and hot, for 25 minutes. On days that I've forgotten to pull one from the freezer to thaw in the fridge before, I put it in at 400 for about 40 minutes. I think the last time I did that, I had to pull it out and cut it in half and it was still a bit frozen, so I put it back in for like 5 minutes. But I don't know, you can just kind of like figure it out. Like I did. But that makes it so that the wrap stays nice and toasty. It toasts a little bit when I toast them beforehand, before wrapping them up and freezing them. But then when you unwrap it and put it in the oven, it just makes it really crispy. It's so friggin' delicious. Then I take it out and I cut it on an angle and I put it on a plate. And then you guys have probably seen me use this before. One of the biggest hacks for being in a calorie deficit is replacing sour cream with low-fat or no-fat Greek yogurt. So Siggi's, I just discovered, it's called Skyr. It's Icelandic yogurt. It's really, really high protein and it's 110 calories. Sorry, I stumbled on my words. 110 calories per 3/4 cup. And I love sour cream on like burritos or on nachos or tacos or whatever. I'm like a sour cream whore. So this has been a really incredible replacement because if you look at the caloric like density of sour cream, your mind will be blown. So I do a full 3/4 cup of Skyr. It tastes just like sour cream to me. I think it has the same flavor and it's just as thick and just as delicious. I did the calculations for everything and it turns out that these wraps, including the Skyr yogurt, sour cream, and the salsa comes to 550 calories for the whole meal. That's so perfect. So yay! This was extremely successful, and I cleaned the kitchen and it's like 8:30. So it is so ready to, it is 8:30, so it is so time to crawl into bed. I'm tired. Anyway, that is my breakfast burrito vlog. I feel like, did I say blog before instead of vlog? I can't remember. I'm gonna call it and get these girlies to bed. So yeah, thanks for watching. I don't have an outro or conclusion to this vlog prepared. I just wanted to show you how I made my freaking burritos, and it is really cool how I got to use all of those eggs. So that makes me a little excited. But anyway, I'm gonna shut up before I make an ass of myself. So thank you for watching. I hope you guys make these, and if you have any questions, leave it in the comments below, and I'll also leave the recipe in the description. So if you need to remember it or reference it and don't want to watch this horrible vlog, again, you can just read that. Okay, bye! We're gonna try and do a thumbnail here. I just got a haircut for the first time in like 2 years. I told her I wanted it to look feral. I have to remember where the title goes. Optimal space. I don't want the eggs to like accidentally fall out. That looks good. Let's try this way. No, I don't like that way. That's an interesting look. No, they're gonna fall out. I liked this way the most, I think. I'm sweating and so thirsty. Oh, okay. Need to make it sexier. It's like, this is my non-tattooed arm, so it looks like a little better from this way. Body angle. I was like this before. My hair's in my face. I actually showed my body. No, that looks terrible. Does that look weird? We're just gonna leave it at that. Oh yeah, YouTube is fun.